Happy 1st of April, everyone! As I've been saying for years now, I'm finally taking the steps to transition the channel from Pokemon and video game content to my one true passion, anthropology and geopolitics. I've been informed by many reliable individuals that gaming spaces are notoriously nuanced and that everyone will appreciate this sudden and dramatic shift towards politicized content. A really big thank you to corporate for letting me move on from gaming research. They were surprisingly accommodating, all things considered. Oh, looks like my new orders just came in. I just really appreciate them letting me move on like this as a researcher. I told everyone in the break room that if I ever see another Pikachu again in my entire life, I'm gonna jump off a bridge. Alright, let's see what we got here. Fuck. Okay. According to the UN, which I trust implicitly and has probably never done anything wrong before, there are 194 countries in the world if you don't count the Netherlands. That's a lot of countries, so we're going to use the national birds and national animals of the world to get us started on how we should be making these decisions, which will be permanent and will have a profound effect on geopolitics for at least the rest of the century. According to owlbrandsdiscoverykits.com, the leading voice on all things bird adjacent, national birds are chosen as a symbol of a given country and are usually native to that country. So, for example, the American bald eagle, the iconic national bird of Madagascar. National animals, on the other hand, are a lot less restrictive on what can be considered national. While, yeah, I'm sure that England has probably a lion or two somewhere in a zoo, Scotland, I'm sorry, but I just don't think you're close to convincing me or anyone else that you have unicorns roaming the Highlands. According to animalcorner.org, the leading voice on all things animals that aren't birds, national animals are chosen to be symbols that a nation identifies with that play a key part in their symbolism or history. So, still waiting for an explanation on the unicorns there, Scotland. Unfortunately, despite my best efforts to look, to my knowledge, exactly 0 Pokemon are native to any country on Earth. But countries do have native animals, and my research has led me to believe that, similar to Palworld, many animals on Earth are actually inspired by Pokemon designs. Isn't that fun? I think that's enough to give us some loose guidelines to base our national Pokemon assignments on. Each nation should be given a Pokemon that fits at least one of the following criteria: is related to an actual animal that is native to that country, could be tied back to the country's history, iconography, or mythology, or, finally, failing the first 2 criteria, the vibes should just be right. You know what I mean. Alright, I'm gonna start off with countries I respect the least, so that's anywhere with a bloated military budget, poor workers' rights, and a high rate of war crimes. So of course, let's get started with... What? My largest percentage of viewers? Shit. Actually, we're just gonna go continent by continent. Let's start off with Europe, the continent at the center of all maps. Very convenient for us, it just worked out like that. Nothing deeper to look into there. First off is France. This country gets a lot of heat from just about everyone for speaking the second silliest language in the world, but you do have to respect the French's capacity to just burn everything down when they want to get something done. I can't think of a better Pokemon that fits this MO than Blacephalon. Look at him, he's so silly. But he will sacrifice half his max HP for a stab 150 base power fire type attack, and you just have to respect that. For Greece, you know, you really think there'd be like one Pokemon of the 1,000 that exist based on Greek mythology, but nope, not a single one. So Greece's national animal is the dolphin, so that's perfect. Greece's national Pokemon is Palafin Hero Mode. Or it's Hero Mode because it's a hero, like the myths, like the Greek heroes, like they're heroes. For Ireland, I've discussed this with many friends and family, and we're all quite unbiased, but we agree that nothing less than Arceus would do. We'd settle for Mega Rayquaza. Mewtwo at a push. Okay, fine. Shaman Skyform. I'm going no lower. Next off is the Netherlands, and their national Pokemon is Snailstrom. This fits really well because just like the nation of Holland, Snailstrom is completely made up and does not exist. Time to talk about England. It's time to take revenge after 500 years of imperialist... What? They're my second largest viewer base. Okay. In the interest of fairness, I have decided to give England a normal and respectable Pokemon. You can have Aegislash, I guess. Whatever. You're on thin ice. For reasons I don't feel like I have to explain out loud, I shall not be going through all 194 countries in detail, so here's the rest of Europe in a fun little graphic. Don't like what I gave your country? That's too bad. I'm the sole arbiter of all national Pokemon and I'm not sorry. Whoa, who's that Pokemon? It's the 8% of my viewers who are subscribed. Okay, if you'd consider subscribing, it'd help me out a huge amount. The dream is to be able to do this full time, and literally every new subscriber gets me a little closer to that goal. You can always undo it later if you want to. Alright, sorry for the interruption, back to the video. Moving on to the Americas, and first off we have Mexico. You might think the right play here would be to say Ludicolo or Maractus, and you couldn't be more wrong. Shame on you. If my time on Twitter has taught me anything at all, it's that the most popular cultural icon in all of Mexico is Goku, and the most Goku-coded Pokemon of all time is, of course, Infernape. Now for the US of A. See, everyone outside the US wants me to say, like, wheezing or something. And everyone in the US wants me to say some cliche, like Braviary. Well, I'm not giving you Braviary. You don't deserve Braviary. No, I'm putting my foot down. You're getting wheezing. What? 55% of my viewers? We're gonna come back to the US at the end. Oh, Canada. It's cold. The people are nice. It had that one blackface incident in the 90s. I can't think of a more suitable Pokemon than Jinx. Last one for the Americas. Just like Chile, Alolan Executor is also concerningly skinny and alarmingly tall. And of course, here's all the ones I didn't talk about. Except the United States. I will figure out what to do with you by the end of the video. But in the meantime, we're off to Asia. Japan has given us so many great pieces of art and media over the past 100 years, including, but not limited to, Cowboy Bebop, the live-action Attack on Titan movie, David Bull's Yukio-e Heroes Woodblock Print series, and, of course, Pokemon. What would suit Japan more than giving them the very first Pokemon ever designed? Rhydon! Did you know Pakistan has, like, 6 national animals? That's too many national animals. You can have one Pokemon. You can have Ditto. That's like at least 6. I feel like I should be making some more politically charged jokes. Let's pick a country at random and go to their Wikipedia page and look at their history and let's crack some jokes at their expense. Let's do India. In solidarity with another country ravaged by imperialism, man-made famine, and partition, I am taking away England's Aegislash and giving it to India. They deserve it more. You know what? Let's just move to a continent that had probably far less colonialism. Let's go to Africa. Egypt. Everyone likes Egypt. Bet there was no, they were here too. I'm just not gonna think about it, or I'll go insane. Egypt is every kid's first favorite country, because what's not to like? It's got a sick history and mythology, it's in a bunch of great movies, and it has really big things. You know what else has a cool history, is in lots of movies, and can be really big? Charizard. It's Chad, and finally a country that wasn't colonized by the English. The French? Okay. Chad's Pokemon is Dreadnought, because... well, mostly because I saw this meme and I think it's funny. I'm allowed one per continent. The Ivory Coast next. Their national Pokemon is Shaman Landform, to mirror Ireland's Shaman Skyform. This is because of the pretty obvious similarity the two nations have. Can you spot it? That's right, a history of brutal occupation, and literally nothing else. Shout out to Botswana, where humans probably first emerged. They can have Mew, because I just think that's kind of neat. Alright, that's Africa done. Only one more continent left before I have to deal with the United States. Alright, welcome back to the global north. We're back to countries I feel comfortable actively making fun of. First off is Australia, and their Pokemon is Inkay, because it's upside down. It's the joke I would make if I was a hack and uninspired, but although I did make the joke, so. Australia's actual Pokemon is inspired by the most culturally significant war that's taken place on Australian ground in the past 100 years, the Emu War, where the Australian military lost an entire war to a species of flightless bird. There's technically no emu Pokemon 1-for-1, but Dodrio is close enough. New Zealand is a country that's so frequently left off world maps that there's an entire subreddit based around making fun of cartographers and graphic designers who didn't do their job properly. Similarly, I can't think of a Pokemon who's fallen off the map more than Garchomp. He's in UU this generation, what's he doing down there? Next up is America. I have ran out of other countries. And I'm not giving you Braviary. No, I think the only fair way to do this is to base it on the most common animal on American soil. So without further ado, introducing, from now until the end of time, America's new national Pokemon, Durant. I think we're all happy with that one, right? I know I am. Huge shout out to my patrons, especially Sean Colgan and Zed the Man, as well as Avery Bunn, Eamon Crawford, Frostfucks, Peter Clare Lomax, Where is Spacebar, and everyone else you see here. If you've supported me at all in the past year, even monetarily, but just showing up for videos, commenting, liking, showing your support in any way, I just want to say thank you so much, even just subscribing. It's been a wild year for me, and I'm really excited to see what happens next, so watch this space, stay tuned.